So last week we started with microwave passive devices. In the last lecture we studied S parameters of a three-port network and for a circulator, right? So the three-port network, simple, I had given this example, a power divider, right? So if you see, this is in the form of a T. So that's why, so this is one of the very important topics which is called as waveguide T's. So obviously since this makes a T, this is, let's say, port 1, port 2, port 3. So this is a three port network, hence it is called as T. So we have three types of T's: E plane T, H plane T, and hybrid or magic T. So hybrid T is also called as magic T. Okay, so let's see them one by one. First is E plane T. Okay, so what we have, so it is nothing but a waveguide only. Okay, so how it looks like. So I have a waveguide. So it looks like this, right? This is a waveguide. I have this as the broader dimension A and this as the narrower dimension. So what we do for E plane T is we take this broader dimension, that is A side, cut it in the middle exactly, and insert one more waveguide from this side. So I hope I'll be able to draw it. Sorry, I'll draw it again. So it will look yeah, so it looks like this. Okay, so how many ports I have? Again, 3. So let's say this is port 1, port 2, and this is port 3. Try you don't change the ports because these are standard port numbers given, because we again derive the S matrix for this. Okay, so now first thing, why it is called as E plane T. So for that we need to understand that these two are called as collinear arms. So these are arms of the T. So these two are collinear arms. This is called as side arm or E arm. Okay. So the reason it is called as E plane T is, if you see, this is the line which is having the symmetry along the side arm, right? And if you make incident electric field from here, so it will be in the axis of the side arm. So why is it called as E plane T? And E plane T is a waveguide T in which the axis of its side arm is parallel to the E field of the main guide. So the axis of this side arm, that is this green pen, is parallel to the electric field which is made incident from here. Okay? Because this will be the incident field, right? It will be in this direction, right? And this is the symmetry, right? So an electric field will be propagating downwards. So it is parallel to the direction of EM, side arm, sorry, or side EM, right? This is nothing but what? RE plane T. So next is, what is the operation? So what is the operation of E plane T? So this is a rectangular waveguide, right? So what is the dominant mode in a rectangular waveguide? It is TE10 mode. So TE10 mode is dominant, right? So means this is the mode which can propagate through the rectangular waveguide with the lowest frequency. That's why it is called as dominant mode. So let's say I give input to port 3. Okay. So I'll have outputs at port 1 and port 2. Right. So what will happen is I'll have P1 equal to minus P2. That is, port 1 and port 2 power will be same, but they will be 180 degree out of phase. Okay. So in other words, how can I write this in terms of S parameters? I am giving input at port 3. So this is 3 and power going from 3 to 1. So I'll denote it by S13 and power going from 3 to 2. So it will be S23 and both should be opposite 180 degree out of phase. So this is minus, right? So this is the S parameter I have derived, right? Again, what is the minus sign indicating? That if I draw the cross section of this, if I give a electric field from here like this, okay, so what will happen? I'll have the output here. Here also it will be equally divided. So I'll have the output here also, but the outputs will be out of phase. So that's why this minus sign comes there. Okay. So in the exam, draw this diagram as well as show this using diagrams. Okay. So let's go further. So in the same way, what I can say, obviously this is symmetric network, so I can say it is a reciprocal network. So in the same, if I am giving power input at port 3, I get output powers equal at port 1 and port 2 out of phase. So if I give out of phase powers at port 1 and port 2, I'll get the power in this way at port 3, right? So it works as like what, power divider and or a power splitter, right? So this is a 3-port network. So how will the S matrix look like? Again, it will be S11, S12, S13, S21, S22, S23, S31, S32, S33, right? So again, it is a reciprocal network, right? And we can assume safely that the port is matched at port 3. So if it is matched at port 3, then we can say S33 equal to 0, right? And we already know S13 equal to S minus 23. So these things we know, and we know it is reciprocal, right? So what does it imply? Sij equal to Sji. Okay, so these things we know. So what will our S matrix become? So it will become S11, S12, S13. So this and this, this and this, and this and this are equal. So this will be S12, S22, S23 is minus S13. So I can write this as what? Minus S13. So this will be S13 equal to this. This will be S. Again minus 13 I can write because this and this should be equal. Sij is minus Sji and this is 0. Right? So far I have got this. Right? Then what I know from unitary property? From unitary property, what I know? S into S conjugate equal to I. Right? So what I can say? So I can again draw this. So I'll write it here only. So S11 conjugate, S12 conjugate, S13 conjugate, S12 conjugate. This will not be S now. S22 conjugate, S minus 13 conjugate, S13 conjugate, S minus 13 conjugate, 0 equal to what? Unit matrix. So 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Right? So this is what I have. So what equations I can write from this? First I can write R1 C1, R2 C2, R3 C3. Right? So what we'll get directly? Mod S11 square plus mod S12 square plus mod S13 square equal to 1. Then S12 plus 22 plus 13. So S12 plus 22 plus 13 equal to 1. And then finally S13. So S13 square plus S13 square equal to 1. And we can write one more equation. Let's say R3C1 we do. Okay. So I am doing R3C1. So what will I get? S13 S11 conjugate. S13 S11 conjugate R3C1, right? Minus S13 S12 conjugate. This will be what? 0. R3C1. So this term. So 0. Right? So let's say this is equation 1, 2, 3 and 4. Right? So what we can say from this? Let's see first equation 1 and 2. So S13 I have S12 also. So I can say S11 equal to S22. See, I have S13 here, S13 here. This is 1, this is 1. This is S12, this is S12. Right? So what does this indicate? That S11 equal to S22 mathematics. So we can say from 1 and 2. S11 equal to S22. Right? Then from 3. Both are same, right? So I can say 2 mod S13 square equal to 1. Therefore, mod S13 equal to 1 by root 2. We have found this parameter. So derive these parameters means find the values for them. Right? So next we have the fourth equation. So we are done with 3. So fourth equation S13 is same. Right? So what we can say, if you solve that from equation 4, S13 into S11 conjugate minus S, what it will be, 12 conjugate equal to 0. So you know S13 we have just proved is 1 by root 2. So therefore this has to be 0. So therefore S11 conjugate equal to S12. Right? And we already know S11 is S22, we have proved here. This is conjugate. So therefore S11 equal to S22 equal to S12. Right? So we have S11, S22, S12, 1, 2 and 2, 2. So if you see equation 2, 1, 2 and 2, 2 is here. So only 1, 3 is remaining. So 1, 3 we have found out already. Fine. So what we can do, let's see, just see the equations, what we can find. We are done with 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. Right? So what is remaining? 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3 we are done. 2, 2 we are done. So this is done, this is done, this is done. This is also done. But S11 value we don't know, right? So we can use this first equation. Right? So from 1 S11 square plus S12 I can take as S11. Right? And S1, so S11 square, and S13 is what? 1 by root 2. So this will be 1 by 2 equal to 1. So therefore 2 S11 square equal to 1 by 2. So therefore S11 mod equal to 1 by 2. Right? And this is equal to S12 and S22. So if you write the S matrix which we have derived, so this derivation can come in the exam. It is a very important question. So if you write the matrix, it will be 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, minus 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, minus 1 by root 2, and 0. Why in this way? S33 was already 0. S11 is 1 by 2. which is S22 and S12. So S11, S12, S22, 1 by 2. And what is this? S12 and S12, these are equal, right? Then this is what S13. S13 is 1 by root 2. So 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2. And then we saw that they were negative. These two are negative. So that's why we have that page here minus 1 by root. Right? So this is the S matrix for E plane T. Right? So now they can ask you a question. Show that E plane T acts as a 3 dB splitter. Okay, 3 dB means what? Equal power. We saw in the S parameters lecture. Right? So will you read? B standard equation is what? B equal to S into A. So A indicates incident wave, B indicates reflected wave. So this is 3-port network. So I'll have B1, B2, B3. So this will be, so again this matrix that I am not writing, into A1, A2, A3. Right? So what will be B1 then? So therefore I'll take a new page. Okay, so I'll write that matrix, it is required. So 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, minus 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, minus 1 by root 2, 0. Right? So what we will get? B1 equal to 1 by 2 A1 plus 1 by 2 A2 plus 1 by root 2 A3. B2 equal to, I am just multiplying the matrices. So 1 by 2 A1, this is 1. 1 by 2 A2 minus 1 by root 2 A3. Then you have B3, 1 by root 2 A1 minus 1 by root 2 A2. Right? Now we say if input is at port 3, what we can say? Input is given at port 3, right? Means A3 is not 0, right? But input is not given at port 1 and port 2. So this will indicate what? Incident wave. So A1 equal to A2 equal to 0, right? Because obviously we can give input from one port only if you want to divide the power, right? So therefore B1 equal to 1 by root 2 A3. What will be B2? Minus 1 by root 2 A3. And what will be B3? 0. Right? So what do equations 1 and 2 show? 1 by root 2. If you do 10 log of 1 by root 2 in your calc, you will get it as 3 dB. Minus 3 dB. Okay. So what does this indicate? That's what they have asked, right? It acts as a 3 dB splitter. So it is equally splitting the power. So equal power is there. Now why root 2? Because this we are talking in terms of incident voltages. That's why 10. Usually we talk in terms of power. But while deriving it is in terms of voltages. Okay. That's why this is what? 3 dB splitter. So E plane T is also called as a 3 dB splitter. Okay. So next is H plane T. So what we did for, so it is also called as shunt T. So what we did for E plane T, we cut along the broader dimension, right? So now we use the narrower dimension. So it will look somewhat like this. So this is my waveguide, obviously it is rectangle. So I take the narrower dimension. This is the narrower dimension, right? So I take this dimension. Right, so this is along the narrow dimension I have cut. And again I have the standard port 3, 1 and 2. Right? So again why it is called as H plane T? Because now H field is parallel to the axis. Right? So this is my side arm and these two are my collinear arms. So again the axis of the side arm, this side arm axis is parallel to the H plane now. That's why it is called as H plane T. So again if I move it like this, so how will it look like? So its operation is very simple. Again I give the input from here. So in this case what will happen is you will get again outputs in this way, but they will be in phase. So this is port 3, port 1, port 2. Okay, so that is the difference between E plane and H plane T, one of the difference. Okay. And again it is equally spread. So I will not have phase difference. So if you are having applications such that you require equal power distribution but in phase also, so you can use which T? H plane T. Okay. So again we have S matrix for H plane T. Okay. So that I am leaving as a assignment. Okay. So next let's see what is hybrid T or magic tree. So hybrid T, sorry, magic T. So this is a combination of E plane T and H plane T. Okay, so let me draw that. I hope I will draw it quite neatly. This resembles what? E plane, right? Sorry, H plane. So now I'll try to draw H plane. Sorry, E plane. This will come like this. This is actually wrong. I should have exactly at the center. So I'll draw it over here. Okay. So you should draw such that these two are equal. So it should be both are in the middle, right? That's what we saw. So this is my H plane T. So which is my E arm? This is my E arm. This is my H arm. And these two are collinear arms. So this is called as port 4. This is called as port 3. This is called as port 1. This is called as port 2. Okay. So this is the construction. So now why it is called as hybrid T? Because it is a combination of E plane T and H plane T. Okay. So now when I give input to port 3, means if a wave is fed from the port 3, that is H arm, it will equally divide between port 1 and port 2 and will not appear at port 4. Means input at port 3, can I say it is acting as H plane T? Right? Similarly, input at port 4, so it will act as E plane T. Okay. So these are the two conditions. So next what I can say, I have got H plane and E plane T, right? So that's why it is a combination, so it is called as hybrid. Now I give input at P1 and P2 in phase. So what will happen? Output will go to port 3 because H plane T gives equal output in phase, right? So again input at port 1 and port 2 out of phase. So output should come at port 4. Right? And port 3 will be 0. Port 3 output is 0. Here port 4 output is 0. Right? But now why is it called as magic T? So if I give input only to one of the collinear arms, means if a wave is fed to one of the collinear arms, let's say at port 1 or port 2, let's say I get at port 1, the output will not appear at port 2 at all. That is the difference, right? Because usually what was happening, if you are giving input at port 3, two ports were having collinear arms, are always having the output, right? But if you are now giving the input at port 1, you are not getting any output at port 2, right? Similarly, if you are giving input at port 2, you will not get any output at port 1. right? So that's why it is called as sort of magic is happening. So that's why it is called as magic tick. So means what is happening? If I am exciting port 2, means I am giving input to port 2. How much power is going to port 1? 0. So I can say S12 is 0, right? And similarly it is happening the other way around. So I can say S21 is also 0, right? So this will be required for what? Deriving the S matrix, right? So again port 2 to port 1, 0 power. Port 1 to port 2, 0 power. Means when port 1 is excited, output, this is input, this is output. This way you can remember for S parameters. Okay. So let's derive the S matrix. So it is what? A 4-port network now, right? So again I'll have 4 ports. I'll directly start writing. So let's assume it is matched at all ports. So it can be matched at all ports. So what will I have? All diagonal elements as 0, right? Then we saw just now that S12 and S21 are 0. So this also will be 0. Then we obviously the network is reciprocal, right? So I'll have, if this is S13, this has to be S13. This is S14. This will be S14, right? Now for other parameters, let's see the magic trick. So what will happen when I give the input to port 3? It will equally go to port 3 and 1, right? Means S13 equal to S23, right? Is S13, S23 is what? 21, 22, 23. So this is S13, and since it is what? Reciprocal, so this will also be S13, right? Because this is S31, S32. This was S23. S23 is S32 for a reciprocal network, right? Next, what else I can think? If I am giving input at port 3 again, where will the output go? 1 and 2, right? Means no power is going from 3 to 4. Means when 3 is excited, power going to 4 is 0. Similarly, S34 will be 0 since it is reciprocal. So 3, 4. So 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4. This is 0 and this is 0. Right? So only these two are remaining. So can you think for some time? So what is this? This is S42 and this is what? S24. This is remaining that, right? Means 4 to 2. Let's see what is happening for 4 to 2. 4 to 2. When will this power go? When this is acting as E plane T. So 4 1 and 4 2 are equal, right? Because power is equally divided. So S41 equal to minus S42 actually, right? Why? Because E plane T divides out of phase, right? Means I can say S14 equal to minus S24 also because it is reciprocal. So this will be what? Minus S14. This is also minus S14, right? So this way we have done. So let's proceed further because we have to find the other things also. So again only one property is remaining, which is S into S conjugate equal to I, right? So since this is the conjugate of this, I will not write that step. In the exam you can write it. So what will I get if I do again R1 C1? I can do R2 C2, R3 C3 and R4 C4 to get all this 1. So what will I get? S13 square plus S14 square equal to 1. Then S13 square plus S14 square equal to 1. Then S13 square plus S13 square equal to 1. And S14 square plus S14 square equal to 1. Right? So you are getting everything here only. So if you see from this what we get, If you solve, you will get S13 equal to 1 by root 2. If you solve this, you will get S14 equal to 1 by root 2. Right? That's all we want. 1, 3 and 1, 4. That's what is remaining here. So we can complete the matrix using this. Right? So this is about magic T. Right? So there are many applications of magic T. So what are those? It can be used as a impedance measurement bridge. Then it can be, as we saw, it can be used as a power divider also. So that can help it as using as a duplexer in an antenna. So it will be acting as a separate device for a transmitter and a receiver. So one port can go to transmitter, other port can go to receiver, and it can act as a mixer also. Okay. So we'll stop here.